Hi and welcome to Time for Supper with me, Simon Tupper. Joining me today in the kitchen is going to be Rod, who's here and is good at cooking things.
Yeah.
This week Rod is going to be turning some ingredients into food. What food is that going to be, Rod?
Today we're doing chicken tarragon lasagna.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Today's ingredients, they're all natural, they're all organic, they're all store-bought. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is start chopping some of these lovely ingredients.
So I noticed you chop one onion one way and one the other way.
Yeah.
Am I reading too much into that, or is that a...
You're reading too much into
that technique? Okay, so I'm now going to...
My lovely assistant is going to chop these...
I'm going to chop a few mushrooms here now.
into quarters, if you will.
Now I'm going to use a purple knife. Any colour will do. Some of them have got a bit of mud on, but
it's good for you.
it's good for you, good for the immune system.
And you're going to want to chop the chicken into roughly 1 or 2 inch by 1 or 3 inch bits. Roughly like this. We don't want them too small. We don't want them too big.
So the important thing with the mushrooms is not to mix them up, because if you decide that you actually didn't want them in quarters and you want to go back to whole ones, you're going to need to be able to find the right pieces to put them back together. Okay, because otherwise you're going to end up with this kind of situation here, and that won't do at all.
For this dish, we're going to be using 3 cloves of garlic. So the garlic is going in the little spicy hole, just there. And I'm just rolling. Not too much pressure, just enough pressure. Kind of the same amount of pressure you'd pet a dog with. You can see all the skin's just coming out of the side, and I pour it out now. You've got 1 skinned garlic. Okay, now I'm going to take the garlic, skinned, fresh, ready. I'm going to place it with force and vigour, just like this. You know, not pushing too hard, perhaps the amount of force you'd use to post a large parcel in a small post box. It's delicious, and the smell, ladies and gentlemen, I could tell you, if you were only here. And there we go.
Quite overpowering. It's making me weep.
And that's 1 garlic clove.
So we've prepared the ingredients, and now we're going to cook them.
We're going to use the central burner, nice and hot. And then we add our oil, just about a 1/16 of a cup's worth. And the first thing is the onions. I like to use a flat spoon thing, just because I can really scrape at the bottom of the thing. Okay, Simon, if you could pass me the chicken, just stick it in there for me.
Just slide that in.
And also at this point, I like to season my meat. Always freshly ground pepper. And then also the same amount of your Cornish sea salt.
Would Devon salt do?
No, it has to be Cornish. There's a certain way the wind hits the Cornish peninsula there. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I can tell you the smells coming off this is just exquisite. Look at that deliciously kind of...
That even looks like garlic anymore, does it?
Pulverized garlic. All of those delicious flavours going to spread directly into the meat. And now if you just, you could add the mushrooms.
Yeah, we've got some mushrooms. These were grown by a man called Sid from Gloucestershire. Well done, Sid. Thank you for those mushrooms. They look excellent, if I may say so. But if you had a bit more time on your hands, you could maybe wander into the forest and gather some yourself. Just be careful not to get the poisonous ones.
Yeah, just chuck them in with a bit of grace. Nice. Okay, now Simon, what I'm going to ask you to do now, as we have our fresh tarragon here.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be tearing off the leaves. Little ones chuck in, big ones tear in half. We're not going to slice it,
let me give that a go.
because it retains flavour.
So when you said you were going to tear the tarragon, I had this kind of idea of this kind of passionate flinging leaves all over the place. but actually it's quite a dainty process. You kind of individually pull the leaves off. So this, what is this tarragon? Because I always thought that was a character from the Lord of the Rings.
So you're thinking of Aragorn.
Ah, Arrogant.
He was actually named after Tarragon, but
Ah,
they had some licensing issues, and the people who invented Tarragon, they wouldn't let him have it. So,
Copyright infringement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could actually.
So did he smell of it like this, or?
No.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie. It doesn't really smell of anything. Could you just? Could you use grass?
Yeah, but you wouldn't taste some, Simon Tupper.
Mmm. Almost a kind of aniseedy flavour.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly. It is an aniseedy flavour. I'm just going to scoop the entire quantity, which is 200 grams.
It's important to make this look a bit sexual.
And I'm just going to fold it in. Fold it in. Fold it in. Fold it in. Stir a bit, fold again. Stir a bit, fold. Now, we need to move on to the red part of the dish. Because this lasagna consists of 2 different layers. Much like an onion, except there's only 2 layers. We can have the chicken tarragon layer, which is the creamy chicken, mushrooms, creme fraiche, tarragon, pepper, salt, garlic. And then the next layer is this tomatoey kind of sauce, which I'm just about to show you how to cook now.
And now we're just going to go over to Rod's hands, which are cutting some small chili peppers. Still going.
Now, first ingredient to go in is our super hot chili homegrown peppers. Just put that in for me, please. Thank you. This is just releasing all the flavours from the chili into the butter. And the butter is the glossy part of the sauce, so that's going to be prevalent in the entirety of the dish. Now we're just going to add in our next ingredients, which is chopped tomatoes and passata. And we're going to have a nice squirt puree, 1 or 2 second squirt. And if you had some red wine, this might be a good opportunity to have a glass. A glass for you, a glass for the wine, for the dish. These are like best friends. Lea & Perrins, Worcester sauce, and Amoy, soy sauce. We're just going to add about a jerk or 2 of that, and about the same of the Lea & Perrins. We are going to add a little bit of basil, which I've been growing myself here. This guy, he's called Petunia. Petunia has been growing now for 3 or 4 weeks. And we're going to be tearing Petunia's leaves into this sauce. We're going to add, first of all, thyme. Dried thyme I've got here, but you can grow your own. And then we're going to take the leaves of Petunia. We go for the big leaves, we leave the small leaves at the top.
The smell coming off this basil, off Petunia, is incredible.
I know. She is.
We'd love to meet a woman that smelled this good. Or a man.
Why don't they make perfume with basil in it, eh?
Do you ever feel any remorse when you're brutally tearing apart the leaves of your favourite plant child, Rod?
No, it's much like pulling the tail off a gecko
Beloved.
or something, you know? It's going to grow back.
Yeah. Some people prefer not to name their herbs. And now we come to the layering process of the lasagna.
Okay, firstly we're going to start with the lasagna sheets. We're going to put a base layer into the dish. By just sticking the layers in here. You don't want to use all the chickens, but you want to try and have 2 layers. Now we're going to go for our second layer of pasta. For our second layer,
Oh, I knew it was going to be that.
I'm going to do it left-handed so you guys can see the velvety richness of this sauce. Okay, so now another layer. I'm just going to liberally spread that rich, creamy awesomeness.
Shit.
Let's rearrange this. Come on.
That's what happens when you
pasta. The pasta ain't gonna cook. Parmesan cheese. Into the preheated oven.
Preheated to 173 degrees. Is that right?
That's right.
How long does it take?
About another half an hour. Parmesan flakes. It's going.